Shalom, shalom Israel, first and foremost. So let us give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakal Kodash, the honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Stone. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching His word in sincerity and in truth. This is your brother Shapal from the James Jamaica camp with a quick lesson on the downfall of Mischief Babylon, which is America, or as in Revelation 11, it speak about that city is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Alright, now just to get into it, I type in Google, how long does an empire last for? Alright, now the first thing that came up, it says one gets a sense of the lifespan of civilization, but seeing how long other civilizations survive. If you can look at the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, and various dynasties of the China and whole Middle and New Kingdoms of Egypt, these empires last on an average of a little over 550 years. Now, when you go down, it says, what is the average lifespan of an empire? And it says about 250 years. Right? So I've read somewhere that the average of an empire lasts 250 years. We Americans may not consider our country as an empire, but much of the rest of the world certainly does since 1976. 1776 to was 245 years ago, seen to be right on schedule, right? And you go down and it gives you the majority is what, 250 years, right? Now the reason why I did this is because looking out there in the media and watching the videos that the apostles have recommended, and watching the apostles' videos also, you realize that they're actually bringing out that this information basically about the ending of an empire, or how long an empire normally lasts. Now, before you have empires that last over 1,000 years, but this one, as we can see, according to the prophecy, it correlates with the 250 years. Now, when I say it written in the scripture that Mr. Babylon, which is America, they're going to reign for 250 years. We're not saying that. But what we're saying is that the Lord had put a timestamp, right, on this kingdom. And because of the prophecies we're seeing happening, right, everything points to the downfall. When you check the economical status of America, financial status of America, the world powers, they're struggling to maintain that dominance that they had years ago. Nobody afraid of America now. So America is on a spiral going down. And we've been preaching this for years. Ultimately, more information is coming out, and it's inevitable. It is inevitable, man. Kalala Yahweh Shai. This world is going to witness the fall of a kingdom and of a dynasty, of an empire, right? And more importantly, the rise, of the sons of Israel. Because when this one fall, China is not going to be the new empire or the new superpower. Neither Russia, neither Europe, but the nation of Israel, right? Through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And we're not speaking about the Israeli over there, man, right? So let me get into this article, right? This article, you know what? Let me not get into this article yet, right? Let me read a particular article that I saw before I can. It's crazy, man. Right? Let me read this. It's from the Yahoo News, and this correlates with the reality of what's happening in America right now. Right? And this is dated, let me see if I can get the date up here. Monday, September the 8th, 2025. So this, let me see, today is the 10th, so that's 2 days ago, right? 2 days ago. It said Trump called on Americans to pray for nation as 250th birthday approaches. One nation under God. So you see, these men know that their time is up. Know them calling for America for prayer. Right? Who is going to save America? Certainly the Lord had proclaimed destruction for America. Who is going to save America? Them can't save themselves. And the Lord certainly are going to destroy America. Look, man, no matter how much prayer you pray, man, you know, America is going down. This is Jeremiah 51 and verse 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for it is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Right? He will render her a recompense. Recompense go back to a payback. Payback for what? For what you did to the earth. Ultimately, what you did to the sons and daughters of Israel. Right? Which is the apple of the Lord's eye. You're going to get payback massively for that, man. But you have also destroyed the earth. Right? Polluted the whole earth. Right? It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hands, who made all the earth drunken, right? And the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, because what America does is go through the whole earth, right? And through the guise of democracy, you know, them spread filth, such as the LGBTXYZ philosophy throughout the whole earth, you know. And them conquer, you know, them rape, rob, you know. Everywhere these men go, when them leave, the place is worse off than it was before. Right? So the nations are mad. It's that Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. And this is prophecy, man, because it's not speaking about ancient Babylon. Because ancient Babylon was a smooth transition of power. It wasn't thrown down with violence as scripture described this Babylon to be. Right? It says, Babylon is fallen and destroyed. Hold for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. Right? It said, but we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted even to the sky. So the scripture says we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. You know? There is no healing medicine, no amount of prayer. Right? No amount of prayer. Trump and the Americans want to pray. All these Christians, these Muslims, whoever. You know what I mean? America is slated to be destroyed, man. It is going down. Right? And you best believe these men will come out swinging. Right? So, yeah, let us return to the article in the Yahoo News. Don't remember if I said the source of the article. Right? So it's President Trump will announce to launch America the launch of America's prayer at the Muslim of the Bible in Washington, D.C. today, while the faith-driven initiative on the nation's 250th birthday. So the inspiring program call on Americans to dedicate time every week to pray for the country and to underscore faith as central to the nation founding and future. President Trump has revived one of America's most prominent and powerful founding principles. We are one nation under God. White House spokesman Taylor Rogers told Fox News Digital, as we approach the 250th anniversary of the greatest country in the world, President Trump invites America to pray for our nation and for our people. America is strong with the power of prayer. Anyway, let's get back to this article on by Armstrong Williams. Right? It says studies show that an empire survives on average mere 250 years. Right? Did you know that? Did you know that? It said put that into context. The world's oldest person recently died at 124 years old. So she nearly half as long as most empires do. And so most Americans are unaware that this small but crucial statistic, which may suggest more about our country's future, it is past time for America to confront the painful reality that our time as a world superpower may be limited. It says, and it is time to explore, to slow down what Franklin is uh, inventable at some point, but frankly is inevitable at some point. He said that the United States global dominance will not persist indefinitely. This may be difficult to grasp and accepted, but it has been true for many civilizations in the past. It will never be true for any society in the future, right? America has run its course, man. Right? Let me just get into a little more and then we'll get some scripture. It's as we consider historic empires, as it worth noting that the vast majority of America do not regard the United States as an empire in a classic sense, despite the fact that many people throughout the world do. However, for the purpose of the column United States being modern in every meaning of the word, indeed, right. He said it indeed qualifies as an empire. So since World War II, the United States has been primarily concerned with spreading democracy and freedom across the world, seeing itself as a sort of global liberator. Right, that's what we mentioned a while ago. He said, in reality, the U.S. maintains over 800 military posts, right, and specialized operation groups spread around globe. This is a critical consideration in determining where the United States belong in the phenomenon of former empires, since like those before it has been primarily interested, right, in the extending influence of power. It is not something that I meant as a criticism, but rather as a contextual point. However, it is this overreach in the pursuit of continuous power and influence that frequently lead to an empire withering. Right? So just like how Rome spread, its wings, stretching forth, conquering, with the mindset to get a further reach or more power. More, the more land them conquer, the more province them conquer, is the more power and the strength of them empire. That's what America been doing, right? Saying, and they have reached pretty far, but the scriptures speak about the Lord that appointed them is bound that he cannot pass, right? So let's just get the last part of this article. Once can read it, so we don't want to get too deep in the reading, but let's read a little more, and then we can get back into the scriptures. All right. So it says, so this part of the article says, some bullshit ads. Come on. Why this thing? Oh my God! It says. Let me just read the bottom part of it. I want. Oh boy. It says rapidly nearing the. Okay. So it's in 2026, the United States of America, founded in 1777, will celebrate its 250th anniversary. Alright. It's a we are rapidly near the 250th anniversary. right, of the fall of most previous civilization with ongoing internal turmoil, right, ranging from race to financial disparity to political tribalism, right, and other countries gradually pulling away from the orbit of US-led supremacy. It appears that the tides are turning against us. I fear that this mere statistic may soon become a reality that alters the course of our lives. After all, many civilizations and politicians would celebrate our downfall. That's right. It says, not realizing the perilous impact it would have on the freedom they believe they do not have. I am sure if it will be a huge international conflict, a financial catastrophic, or a civil war that causes the United States to fall apart. But I do believe that learning from the past is critical if we are to slow down the inevitable. Look, it makes some good points as it pertaining to, and them can't slow it down because America, as you said, the scripture already prescribe punishment and destruction for America. That's just it, right? But it lay out a few things that will happen at the end of a kingdom. It says ongoing internal turmoils from race war, right, to financial disparity, political tribalism, right, and all of those things. Those things are happening in America right now. Civil war, you know what I mean, and they're going to be a global conflict, which is this third world war, which is going to be the demise of America, because Russia, China, and all of these nations are allied against America, and all of these nations where America have dealt harshly with, you know what I mean, are now backed by these superpower. You know what I mean? So it is inevitable, man. You know? Let me read this because today there is a lot of things where Jake our face, you know, in terms of these executive orders that are passing. You know, they're going in the wood, Chicago, you know, the National Guard. You know, so they're coming up against our people. You know, I mean, the 12th tribe of Israel that is in America. You can see that they are the target, and even throughout the world, right? They are the main target right now, and there are greater things that are gonna come down on our people, right? Because this is what the scripture says. This is Revelation 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, right? Because he knoweth that he had but a short time, right? So America know that its time is up, right? Babylon time, its time is up, man. But because he knows that him time up, he might come down on our people having great wrath. You know what I mean? Because him time up. That's just it, man. Get another scripture. This is 2 Ezra 6 and verse 7. Say, and then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob unheld first the heel of Esau, right? So you know the story of Esau and Jacob. You know, when they're you know, the scripture tell about two manner of nation. It was in Rebecca's womb, right? And when they were born, Jacob held Esau's heel, And that's symbolic of pulling down Esau. And now we're reaching at this time where we see him coming down, and the Lord will use the hands of his servant Israel, right, to pull down Esau, which is the so-called white man for you today. Right? Jacob, right, which represents Israel, are the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians. Right? It says, so Jacob held first the heel of Esau, for Jacob is the end of the world, and Esau, Salakia. Let me read that again. Salakia, slip with the tongue, but not with the heart. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. So Esau is the one that's going to be ruling at the end of this society, this kingdom. Esau is the so-called white man for him. And he says Jacob, which represents Israel. Israel is the beginning of it that followed. Who is Israel? Your so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native American Indians. Right? That have been scattered through the four corners of the earth. You know? With that, what this was edifying, you know, kingdom is coming. You know, there's going to be a new day, new rulership. Right? His dynasty is going to fall, man. Look, when the kingdom of Israel is going to be built, it's going to be here on earth. You know, just like the Roman Empire and all of those other empires. But this is going to stretch toward the four corners of the earth. Right? And you got the 144,000, that's the rulership, that's the governing body. You know what I mean? And it's going to be paradise because they're going to rule in true righteousness. Yahushua is going to be here. You know, that man what the world ignorantly called Jesus. Right? He's going to be here, man, ruling. So therefore, righteousness is going to flourish. Right? Israel is going to be on top, and every single nation on the earth is going to be subjected unto Israel. That's just it, man. So with that, will I give our praise and glory to Yahweh Hashem and Yahushua, Hashem Kodash. The honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and the byways, preaching, teaching his word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.